Hi everybody, welcome to Real Talk. I'm Deb Kent and I'm a Gulfport realtor.
I'm Stacy Purcell and I'm also a Gulfport realtor.
And there are questions that may be on your mind that you've been too embarrassed to ask, but there are no stupid questions in real estate, and we're going to go over some of those right now. So one question I get a lot from somebody who is not embarrassed to ask, a first-time buyer, is what exactly is the difference between an appraisal and an inspection? And they're very different, but sometimes people use them interchangeably because they really don't know that these are two very separate concepts.
I'm so embarrassed. That's such an embarrassing question. That is not an embarrassing question.
No.
That's a pretty popular question. What was it again?
What's the difference between an appraisal and an inspection?
Okay, well, the appraisal is there to give you the value of your home so you can get a loan, or so you'll know the value of your home. And then the inspection is to know what things in the future or presently are deficient with the house.
Another question is, what is the difference between your earnest money and your down payment?
Wow. Well, earnest money is to secure your contract.
Also
And
called
that's your good faith.
escrow.
Yep, in your good faith that you are going to follow through on this and everything. And then the other one was
Down payment.
down payment. Yes. Down payment is different, but they will take it from your escrow and your deposit too. Because a lot of people think, oh, well, I can use my deposit towards my closing costs, and that has turned out sometimes not to be correct.
Right. So earnest money, you see a house you like, you want to make an offer, you're going to make an offer. Your offer includes earnest money, and that's like the word suggests, earnest. You are earnestly
Good
pursuing.
faith, yeah.
Yeah, it's good faith. And that money does get cashed when the offer is accepted.
It does. It goes to the title company.
It goes to the title
or
company.
an escrow agent.
And then
Usually they're one and the same.
right? And then it's put toward your down payment.
It is, yes.
So how much is considered a standard earnest money
Oh, that's all
payment?
over the board now.
Yeah.
You know, when I first started buying houses, I would put $100 down. And then, of course, and then it was $1,000.
Those were the days.
Those were the days.
In the good old days. $100, I can't even imagine.
Yes, that was in the early 90s. So, and then then it went to 1,000. I was like, because you didn't mind losing $100, but 1,000, yes, you kind of did. It's all over the board now, you know. People are, 5%, 10%. People are putting down, that's another negotiating tool, is putting down a large deposit.
And why would a large deposit give somebody a competitive advantage? I mean, it's their money.
It doesn't really, but it looks good on paper. If it's a loan and they can't get their loan, okay, it looks good on paper. If it's a cash deal and it's still contingent on a home inspection, it just looks good on paper. It's a big fat number on paper that looks good.
So it looks good because it's a big fat number, and that in itself is impressive to people.
That is.
Because
It doesn't impress me one bit.
No, but what is the seller or the seller's agent thinking when they see that big fat number? So let's say I'm putting $20,000 down in earnest money.
Oh, they want this house. They're going to follow through. But it doesn't mean that at all.
Because they can still get out of it.
They still can.
Okay, so that's my next question. People want to know, am I going to get my earnest money back if the deal falls through? Am I going to get my earnest money back if I get cold feet, or if I decide, that there are too many issues have come up in inspection?
Well, if you're within your inspection period, yes. And if you're going to get your cold feet, you better get it in your inspection period also. Cold feet to me is not a reason to really get your money back. I actually, if you said cold feet to me, I'd be like, no, you don't get your money back.
Right.
Okay, but inspection period, yes. If you can't get your loan for some reason, or if you don't get and you have to state this in your offer and the contract, the interest rate you want, yeah, those are reasons that you would get your escrow money back. A lot of times if people say, well, no, I'm going to keep it, there's a lot to that. It's just easier for all parties, the buyers, the sellers, and the title company. If they're in their inspection period and it's part of their due diligence time, give them back their money.
Right.
Yes.
And just
Yeah.
be
Because
done.
nobody wins the other way at all. Nobody ends up with anything.
Right. What is the difference between a 4-point inspection and the wind mitigation thing? Is that all part of the same thing, or?
Well, 4-point inspection looks at your roof, your electrical, your plumbing, and your heat source. And those are major components of your house, and those are also could be very safety hazards of your house. If your roof leaks, then it causes more damage. If your plumbing leaks, it would cause extensive damage. Electrical could cause a fire. Heat source, if you don't have a proper heat source, you might want to use sources that could also present a fire hazard. So that's why they have the 4-point. And the wind mitigation is basically to get credits on your insurance policy and money. If you have a newer roof, if it has hurricane tie downs, if you have hurricane windows, impact windows, that will give you a considerable discount on your insurance policy.
And would that be for anywhere in Gulfport, or do you have to live in a particularly windy part of town?
No, that's pretty much, I can only call it the state of Florida because that's all I know. That's the state of Florida. And it's for wind, high wind, which hurricanes bring high wind and rains.
So the kinds of things that you would need for the discount on your homeowner's insurance would be
a newer roof, hurricane clips they tie down the roof trusses or rafters to the home so that you don't have uplift and your whole roof doesn't blow away. Hurricane rated windows and doors, including your garage door.
Okay, so if you're in a house that doesn't have those things, then should you be getting them? Would you suddenly get a discount on your homeowner's insurance?
If you are obtaining a mortgage, they're going to want you to get wind on your insurance policy. As much as, even if you're in a flood zone, they want you to have flood insurance. If you're paying cash for your house, you can just go with a straight liability and fire policy. I really don't want to call out the different types of insurances. I'm not licensed in that field, but I do know, being a home inspector, I can talk about the 4-point and the wind mitt, and the wind mitt is for a discount.
Wind mitt.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh.
That's your lingo, your little
sorry,
abbreviation, wind mitt. So if you hear somebody talking about wind mitt, you'll know what they're talking about, mitigation. All right, well, that wraps it up for us. If you have any questions that you've been too embarrassed to ask your realtor or your friends, please feel free to
ask
us, and we'll be glad to answer.
Okay, thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye now.